You're tuned in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, guiding your gridiron journey, none other than your host, former NFL lineman, Ross Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast, because it never is, okay? Monday through Friday during the football season, through the Super Bowl, you can count on your boy, that's me, to make sure every day, for whatever it is, 25 to 28 minutes, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring the energy. I'm going to bring my thoughts. And really, you're getting all the information you need to know about the NFL in a concise format from a former player who covers it very, very closely. We are presented by DraftKings. I'll give you my picks for every game this weekend. I'll also recap last night's game between the Commanders and the Bears that I was on the call for, by the way. But it's also Friday, which means we've got winners. First winner is someone that spreads the word via social media in some way. Really, any engagement counts, but especially like if you repost or you do a Facebook review or an Instagram comment, you go above and beyond. Mike B made a TikTok comment. See, we checked the TikTok at Ross Tucker NFL. Congrats to Mike B. And for any of the winners, by the way, you got to just email me, ross@rosstucker.com, and say, yes, Ross, I want a press pass. I want a press pass, a signed press pass from this game you just did, or any signed press pass, or maybe it's a picture, a card, whatever. Sponsor confirmation email winner is George Shaw. He's the latest to take advantage of the code over at Game Time, the code Ross. Game Time app, greatest ticketing app of all time. And then the YouTube shout out, David Rodriguez. David had multiple comments the last couple weeks looking to be the YouTube winner. I could tell you were trying to be the winner, David. Guess what? It worked. YouTube.com/Ross Tucker NFL. You subscribe, you comment, and now you email me, ross@rosstucker.com, and let me know who you want me to do a personalized video for, and I'll email it to you. It's pretty awesome. Almost as awesome as Rock Iasillo. He's the latest patron over at patreon.com/RT Media. Love more and more of you becoming Tuckheads and part of our little family over there on our Slack channel. It's Big Show time.
The Big Show.
All right, Ross, what are your thoughts on the Bears? They went on the road against Washington in a big one, 40-20.
Well, if you can hear us in the background, I'm still in the booth for this part of the show. Just finished calling the game with Ian Eagle, and before I get into the game, I do want to acknowledge the passing of Dick Butkus, a true NFL legend who passed away tonight at the age of 80. I think anybody that's ever put a helmet and shoulder pads on has a deep appreciation for the way in which he played the game and also the manner in which he fought for retired players after his playing days. So thoughts and prayers to the Butkus family. I'll also say that, we talked about this earlier on Thursday's show about the press box food, and I was talking about it on social media at Ross Tucker NFL. Clear upgrade under the new ownership. Clear, Jack. Salad, great fruit. They had chicken parm, pasta al forno, green beans, bread pudding, candy. They even had a side ice cream container that I appreciated. And unfortunately for the Commanders, they didn't play that well. I mean, the Bears came out, and it was really, the game ended up being the DJ Moore show. I mean, it was a bomb to DJ Moore early from Justin Fields and another touchdown to DJ Moore. Fields had another beautiful throw in the first half on a touchdown to DJ Moore. Next thing you know, it was 20-3. The Bears were winning. And in fact, after a Greg Stroman interception, it was 27-3 at halftime that the Bears are winning. But we know that the Bears have had a tendency to give up leads. We saw what happened on Sunday against the Broncos, and that almost happened again. I mean, there was pass interference against Stevenson. Logan Thomas scored a touchdown, then a field goal by the Commanders, and really you knew that the Commanders were in trouble after the missed field goal by Sly. Still can't believe, by the way, Jack, that the Bears threw it on 3rd and 2 late, but DJ Moore somehow able to snare that and have a gigantic fantasy night. Congratulations to everybody that has DJ Moore in the fantasy lineup. Takeaways for me are a back-to-back really good games for Justin Fields. You got to be encouraged. You got to be excited about that if you're a Bears fan and having DJ Moore. And for Washington, it's just a huge step back. Now, I still thought Sam Howell played pretty well. I'm still encouraged by their young quarterback. But if you want to be serious about trying to make the playoffs this year, you cannot lose at home to the winless Bears. So really tough loss for the Commanders. Kudos to the Bears. They finally ended a franchise-long losing streak. Has to be a great locker room for those guys right now. So it's Friday, which means if you guys want to go to a game this weekend, could be a college game tomorrow. I'll be on the call for CBS Sports Network for Boston College at Army. Should be awesome. Could be, of course, one of the NFL games. There is no way you should ever get tickets to any game without checking out the Game Time app. First of all, they'll show you a view from your seat before you buy the ticket. So you know exactly what it looks like, right? You're not like flying blind here. You know what your vantage point will be. And then they got the Game Time guarantee. That's the key. You know you're always getting the best price. You know what the inventory is. If you find tickets in the same section or row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ROSS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. So again, create an account and redeem code ROSS, R-O-S-S, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price. It's guaranteed.
Want to know which team is going to win every single game on Sunday? Then listen up.
All right, Ross, we'll start the early morning game. We got the Jaguars. They're at the Buffalo Bills, technically.
So I think it's hard to pick against the Bills to win this game based upon how well they played the last 3 weeks. I will say this. If there was a game for the Bills to come back down to earth a little bit and to not play as well, doesn't it feel like this would be the one, right? I mean, they're coming off the huge win over the Dolphins. Everybody's patting them on their back. What did Greg say yesterday? The greatest team in the history of Western civilization. You know, all that stuff, right? The Bills are getting all the love this week. They're second in my power rankings. I totally get it. They deserve it. I love the Bills. But this feels like a comeback down to earth and maybe have a tougher go of it type of game. You got to go across the Atlantic Ocean. You're playing a Jacksonville team that's been there all week. You're playing a Jacksonville team that's familiar with playing over there, coming off their best game of the season. I like the Bills to win the game, but as I mentioned on the Even Money betting podcast this week, I do think it'll be a close game. I think this is a game that Josh Allen pulls out late. I'm thinking like 24-23, something like that. I think we're in for a good one, which, you know, we could use. We could use a good, really competitive standalone game Sunday morning.
Next, we've got the Houston Texans. They're at the Atlanta Falcons.
Two teams seemingly going in opposite directions. And so, based on the trends, everything would tell you Texans, Texans, Texans. They've rolled the last 2 weeks. Falcons have been bad. Here's the thing, though. I know how the NFL works. I don't believe the Texans are going to keep beating people by 20-some points. I don't believe the Falcons are going to have a third straight stinker. I think the Falcons are going to come out with some physicality. I think the Falcons are going to come out. I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and they're going to focus on that. And I think the Falcons are going to win this game. This is like a law of averages game, right? I think these are both teams that will be closer to 500 at the end of the year. And so it just feels like it's more likely to me that the Falcons get this win and get back to their roots of, you know, running the rock and having success with that than it is that the Texans win a third straight game and the Falcons lose a third straight game. It's just not the way the NFL typically works. Give me the Falcons, and I think it's lower scoring. I think it's like 20-17, Atlanta.
Next, we've got the Carolina Panthers. They're at the Detroit Lions.
Really hard to pick the Panthers to win a game right now. Bryce Young, when you watch him play, Jack, it just kind of feels like he's swimming a little bit mentally. He's not comfortable. That's the thing, is Stroud looks really comfortable in the pocket. Even, Anthony Richardson, with what the Colts are asking him to do, he looks comfortable. That has not really been the case for what we've seen so far from Bryce Young. So I got to go with the Detroit Lions. I don't know. I think it'd be nice if the Panthers were able to keep it close. I don't know, though. This is almost a good pick for lock of the week. I can't imagine the Lions losing this one at home, the way they've been playing. I do think Carolina's defense is pretty good. I'll go 23-13 Lions, and you can lock them up, Jack.
Your survivor / knockout / whatever you call it, pick of the week.
Got the Titans. They're at the Colts.
This is an intriguing game. We still don't know what the deal is right now with Jonathan Taylor. I do like what I've seen from both these teams, to be honest with you. The Titans especially looking good coming off that last game. I feel like I could go either way, but I'll lean towards the Titans. I'm going to show some faith in Tannehill and Vrabel as opposed to the first-year head coach Steichen and the rookie quarterback Richardson. But this is kind of a toss-up game, and a typical Titans game, like 20-17, comes down to the end. And kind of like last week where the Rams got it done, I kind of feel like better chance the Titans get it done late than the Colts.
The New York Giants, they are at the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins gonna roll. Listen, it's hard to pick the Giants right now, man. This is another game where you could probably lock them up. I mean, short week. I'd like to say I think that the Giants will bounce back and perform better. I don't know that I necessarily know that or feel that. It's getting ugly pretty early. You got Evan Neal calling out the fans, and then he apologizes for it. It's not good, man. It's a bad situation right now for the G-men. What's that from, Jack? Situation.
I don't know. I've said situation. I don't remember what it's from.
It's got to be from a movie or something, because I've heard it. We got a situation here. I have no idea what that's from. I think my wife says it sometimes too, which means it must be from some type of TV show or something. Hit us up on social media at Ross Tucker NFL if you know what situation's from. At any rate, give me the Dolphins. Another pretty good suicide or survivor pick, I think, for somebody out there, Jack. Dolphins 27, Giants 13. I'm like giving the Giants the benefit of the doubt there with their defense.
Your survivor / knockout / whatever you call it, pick of the week.
Next, we've got the New Orleans Saints. They're at the New England Patriots.
You know what the Saints are doing?
What's that?
You don't. Come on.
Well,
You don't know
are they marching in?
They're marching in. What else would the Saints be doing, Jack?
Flying
That's
in?
the only thing we know for a fact as a society that the Saints do. They march in. The Saints are marching in New England. Now, New England has a strong tendency to bounce back after they get obliterated like that, like they did by the Cowboys. But also, man, I don't know. I mean, no Judon, no Christian Gonzalez. That's not real good. I'm going to take the underdog. Now, they're only 1-point underdogs, but I'm going to take the Saints to win this game on the road, primarily because I have more faith in Derek Carr than I do Mac Jones, but also the Judon and Gonzalez injuries are bad. I mean, that's bad for the Patriots. Low-scoring game. Both these offenses are struggling. How about 19-16 Saints? And I guess we can let the doggies out, Jack.
Ross's Underdog of the Week.
Next, we've got a divisional battle. The Baltimore Ravens, they're at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But first, when that game goes to timeout, it's time to order on DoorDash. When it's halftime, that's ordering time. 2-minute warning? Yeah, you got it. That's your cue to order in. Get everything you want delivered while you root for your squad. Yeah, that means burgers, fries, drinks. You name it, pal. And if you have a Dash Pass membership, you can get the new Wendy's loaded nacho cheeseburger delivered. Yeah, that's right. The loaded nacho cheeseburger is exclusively available with Dash Pass at participating U.S. Wendy's for a limited time. All right, what game are we on here?
We were on the Ravens at the Steelers. Did we do Ravens Steelers?
No, that's what we're on.
All right.
You know, as of when we're recording this, they're still acting like Kenny Pickett's going to play with that knee. That doesn't sound like a real good idea to me. It feels to me like he should rest that thing because they got the bye and not aggravate it if he's got a bone bruise there of his knee. I understand he doesn't want to let somebody else in there because somebody else could be in there and play really well, and then what happens? Either way, I'm taking the Ravens. This is a classic Pittsburgh Steeler bounce back spot, which is why I did take the Steelers on the Even Money betting podcast, because I think it'll be a close game. But I'm going to take the Ravens to win it, kind of like what I've seen from the Ravens offense with Lamar in Monken's offense. And Greg was raving about the defense. Sounds like a pretty good combo to me. Always close games, always low scoring. 20-17 Ravens.
Next, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals. They're at the Arizona Cardinals.
Have you ever heard someone call the Ravens the Ratbirds?
I feel like I have heard that. Well, I just know that Ravens are called Ratbirds. I just never heard like it combined.
Oh, I was about to say 20-17 Ratbirds, but that doesn't sound real nice, so I didn't do it. But I think it's mainly Steelers fans or Browns fans that call them the Ratbirds. All right, what's up next?
We've got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Arizona Cardinals.
Whew. Man, Jack, can you imagine if the Bengals lose this game? And they could. They absolutely could. Very easily they could. Now, this is a game that I am picking the Bengals not based on what we've seen from these two teams this year. This is like a faith and trust in what we've seen from the Bengals over the last couple years, and my faith in Joe Burrow, my faith in their coaching staff, Lou Anarumo, Zach Taylor, that they'll get it done. Might not be pretty, but I think they'll get it done. I think the defense will do a really good job, and the offense will do just enough. Let's go 20-16. The Bengals get the win.
Next, we've got the Norm Van Brocklin Bowl. The Eagles are at the Los Angeles Rams.
What do you know about Norm Van Brocklin?
I knew he played for the Rams, and then he went to Philly, and he won the NFL championship. I think it was considered against Green Bay. That's really all. Because when I grew up, that was the only time the Eagles had ever won a Super Bowl or anything. So that's how I know him.
Taking the Eagles feels like it's going to be like all the Eagles games this year, where it's like tight at the end. Somehow they pull it out. One of these they're going to lose, and this could be the one for sure. With the way the Rams are playing, really surprisingly playing well, both sides of the ball. McVay is a terrific coach. Ultimately, though, I'm going to pick the Jimmies and the Joes over the coaches. I'm going to pick the Eagles having the more talented team, really pretty much across the board. 24-20 Birds, not Ratbirds, just regular Birds. Do they call them the Bird? Do Falcons fans call them the Birds? Do Cardinals fans call them the Birds? Or is the Birds just the Eagles?
I mean, I feel like the Birds have been more assimilated with the Eagles in recent years, but I definitely have heard each other, those teams and Reddit and stuff call themselves the Birds.
Okay.
So, but we'll move forward. We got the Jets. They're at the Denver Broncos.
Jets, Jets. This is like a total toss-up to me. The Broncos defense has been bad. Zach Wilson kind of looked good. the other night. I feel like Zach Wilson's going to win a game. I know he won the first game against the Bills, but that was off the bench. I feel like Zach Wilson's going to win a game. If he's going to win a game, it's going to be this one. I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to pull out another upset, another underdog. Give me Zach Wilson on the road, back in the Mountain Time Zone to get it done. He's very familiar with the Mountain Time Zone. People are forgetting that. This is a Mountain Time Zone game. Zach Wilson is a stud in the Mountain Time Zone. You got to keep that in mind when you're picking this game. Zach Attack and the Jets, even Greg said he played pretty well. I think they put up 20-some points. I think they put up 27 points and win 27-20. How about that? Underdog, let them out.
Ross's Underdog of the Week.
Next, we've got a couple old school rivalries to wrap this one up. We got the Chiefs. They're at the Vikings.
Yeah, they are. Man, I'm just looking at this, Jack. I'm already getting a lot of closing line value for the Even Money podcast, which is fantastic. I'll take the Chiefs to win the game. Close game late, like every game they play. That's how they do it. It seems like Mahomes pulls it out late. 24-21 Kansas City.
Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys. They're at the San Francisco 49ers.
How about them Cowboys? So, kudos to the NFL schedule makers for getting this one for Sunday Night Football. What an awesome game. I will be home. I will be in my man cave. I will have Labatt Blue Lights next to me, and I will be drinking them because they are delicious, and I like to have a beer or two while I'm watching the Sunday night game. Drink some Labatt Blue Lights. Pretend like you're with me, with your friends. Live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. So here's the interesting thing about this one, Jack. You know how I kind of feel about things like this. I feel like the Niners are going to lose a game. And this would be the type of game they would lose, right? Against the Cowboys, a really good team. So I could go either way. It's just the Niners have been more consistent. The Niners have been better. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Niners lost the game. I think it'll be a good game. But because it's in San Francisco, I think the Niners are more likely to lose an away game against a good team, maybe like the Eagles later in the year or whatever. But the Niners have been on a roll. Cowboys inconsistent. Cowboys getting a little bit more beat up too. So I'm going Niners, and I'm going to say a really good, entertaining game that we love. How about 24-23, San Francisco?
And we'll wrap things up with a Super Bowl II rematch. The Packers, they're at the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders played in Super Bowl II?
Well, Oakland. They're the same franchise. I count it.
So, Jack, how old are you again?
22.
I'm feeling 22. Do you like that song?
It's all right.
When do you turn 23?
End of December.
What day?
29th.
12/29. Man, that's really close to Christmas. Does that bother you?
That never really fazed me. Except when I was a kid, I'd always be upset because the kids would have to get their birthday celebrated in school and they'd feel super cool. And I was always away on break, so I never got that.
Oh,
that
right.
Was the only
you never
thing.
had you never felt special in school. I get that. I feel that with my daughters. Well, it's just because you brought up Super Bowl II and Norm Van Brocklin, both in this podcast. You're like a historian. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers in this game. They've just been more consistent this year. This is the type of game, though, I'm telling you, Monday night game at home. The Raiders, Josh McDaniels really needs to win this game or else it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly fast, I feel like, in Las Vegas if it hasn't already. This game could truly go either way. What is the spread on this one? Is this an upset if I pick the Packers? No, but they're favored by 1 point. I'll take Jordan Love over Jimmy G. 23-20 Packers. And this is a huge swing game for both those teams. Both teams feel like they really need to win this one. Other than that, I think we're done here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also check out Even Money, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.
Shout outs myfrontpagestory.com. Can you guys please get a story for somebody from myfrontpagestory.com? I can almost guarantee you the recipient, your loved one, your colleague, your close friend, I can almost guarantee you that they will cry. They'll be so happy. It's a gift that brings about emotions. It's awesome. And it's a keepsake forever, myfrontpagestory.com. You got backofficeschedule.com, go-bengals.com, steakhousesports.com, human@nyc.com, Sporticulture, and Pizza Boy Brewing.